The Sky Painter. Japan. The sea wind carried salt, and even years later, the whisper of absence. In the rebuilt coastal town of Minato, where the concrete barriers were new but the scars ran deep, retired engineer Toru Nakata lived in the quiet that followed the Great Wave. The tsunami had taken his world, his wife, his daughter, his future, leaving behind an overwhelming emptiness that no reconstruction could fill. Toru, a man who had spent his life building things to last, now became obsessed with building things to disappear. His garage, once filled with sturdy blueprints and reliable tools, was now a laboratory of ephemeral art. He had modified a fleet of high-performance drones and developed a biodegradable, water-soluble paint mist, a delicate crystalline spray designed to hold its shape against the wind only for a moment. Every clear evening, people gathered without prompting at the town's beach promenade, all looking east. They were waiting for Toru, though they rarely spoke. The drone flight began in near silence. With the technical precision of the engineer he once was, Toru directed the humming machines. They rose into the twilight, not fast, but with calculated grace. Then, in a coordinated, slow ballet, the drones began to spray the luminous mist. Against the fading canvas of the sky, a magnificent, ghostly image took shape, a pair of immense, graceful wings. For the townspeople, it was a breathtaking moment of collective awe. The wings, sometimes etched in silver, sometimes in a faint, hopeful gold, seemed to hang directly above the ocean that had taken so much. They were a symbol of flight, of passage, and perhaps of the souls that had ascended. The entire masterpiece lasted just 5 minutes. As the paint mist met the humid air and the rising warmth, the wings would slowly, beautifully unravel. The edges would soften, the color would diffuse, and finally, they would dissolve entirely, leaving the sky clean and vast once more. After one such display, as the last trace of the golden wings faded, a young woman who had lost her brother approached Toru. "It is the most beautiful thing I have ever seen," she said, her voice shaking slightly. "But why spend so much time making something that lasts only 5 minutes?" Toru packed the drone into its case, his hands steady. He looked up at the empty, darkening expanse where his art had been. His gaze held the profound depth of his loss, but also the clarity of his newfound mission. "I make it brief for a reason," he told her. His voice carrying the quiet conviction of his engineer's logic turned philosophical. "We spent so long looking down, mourning what was gone, rebuilding the broken ground. But that 5 minutes, that is a command." He finally met her eyes, which were wet with unshed tears. "Beauty is brief, but it teaches us to look up." Toru Nakata knew that his wings were not meant to be recorded or preserved. They were meant to be witnessed, to force the living to stop, look toward the heavens, and appreciate the fleeting perfection of a single shared moment. A fragile message carried on the air, reminding everyone that even in grief, the sky still offered a reason to see the sublime.